Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the podcast. This week my guest is John Cornell. John is a local actor from Thunder Bay as well as musician. He played the antagonist in my thesis film, actually, Recall. So that's where I kind of know him from, is that short film scene in Thunder Bay around the college there. We did this interview a couple weeks ago. Can't remember exactly. We did it over Skype because now I am back in Southern Ontario and he's still, of course, up in Thunder Bay. So we did this over Skype. So hence the audio quality, I wouldn't say is as clear as the other ones I've posted, but it's still listenable. It's still good. So you can hear me and John talk about what it's like to be an actor, what it's like to play at bars in the music scene in Thunder Bay, and all that kind of stuff. Hope you guys enjoy. Perfect. Alright, hey guys, welcome to the podcast. This week I have John Cornell. I met John up north during my first year in film school on Tanner Drabick's thesis film. And then I actually got him to act in my thesis film as well, Recall, as well as he's been in a ton of other productions around Thunder Bay as well. So welcome, John. Hello, John.
Hello. Thank you.
How's it going today?
Oh, not too bad. Saturday morning.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, so basically, like what I did with the other podcast, I mostly talked about business on their side because they're the teachers, of course, and that's what they're all about. But now I kind of wanted to get it from the creative side, in a sense, just like what your opinion is around, like what your opinion is on the art scene around Thunder Bay, what it's like acting in these productions, and so forth.
Well, the art scene in Thunder Bay is pretty vibrant. On the music side, there's more clubs than ever to play in for bands, and mostly they're playing original music with covers, of course, but all these bands are recording their own stuff, and there's about 6 or 7 bars that are featuring live music, if not every night, then always on the weekends. And film production, because there's enough college grads that either live in the city or stay in the city. There's always little things going on. There's a few small companies like Thunderstone Pictures that are making feature films as well as short films, and of course there's always college students filming, just either for their school projects, or some of them are doing their own thing as well.
Now, I know you more from the student productions, but have you done a lot of other productions outside the college as well?
No, not a lot. The first thing that I did that actually stumbled into was acting in Rodney Dware's 1057, which hasn't been released yet. But and I was just an extra. I was one of the SWAT team members, so marching in, marching out, and things like that. But that's what got me into it, and then I wound up doing the conflicts as well. But I've also done something with a company called Control Media. They entered into the Cinecoup contest, which was a independent film contest with $1 million prize, and we did a trailer for that. They didn't continue in the contest. They were in one of the first or second cut, but I think there might be. I think the Pineville Heist went a few further steps in the contest, and that's Lee Chambers' project. So I'm not sure where that contest is right now. And Control Media is looking at doing a web series that I might be involved in, and it's a sci-fi thing that it'll be shot like a movie, but then broken up into segments for episodes on the internet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
other than that, I've done music videos in the past, and music related performances on TV and stuff. So.
Yeah, I know you're involved in music. I've seen you. I've seen a bunch of pictures of you on stage with your guitar, of course, and then I saw your little guitar cameo, I guess, in Keegan's movie, which I liked seeing that as well. And so So you obviously, I'm assuming you started off in music then first.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, in Keegan's movie, it was just it happened to be a guitar in the room when we were shooting. We needed a prop, so I picked it up, and that worked out pretty good. Yeah, I've been playing music since I was a teenager, and I've played in a few different bands, mostly original music, and recorded. And I'm actually going to be playing at the end of the month, just acoustic duo, two of us on stage, doing mostly original music, songs that we've written over the last 20 years.
That's awesome. Out of, I know you've been in the music game quite a bit. So, what would you say are the differences between working in music versus working on one of the productions?
Well, of course, they're two completely different art forms. But yeah, at their heart, they're both storytelling. But of course, music, when you're live, it's in the moment. Anything can happen, and you have immediate feedback from an audience. So working on film is a little bit more like working, doing studio work, where you can do it a few times. You can do it until you get it right. And working on film, it takes a lot. The film process is a lot longer than the recording process, I found. You can stretch recording out, but generally speaking, though, the film work, it's so meticulous. There's so many people involved on a set. You don't have that in a studio. You've got your engineer, producer, maybe, and that might be the same person. And it might be even one of the band members. So that's it's only the immediate artists that are in the music studio. But yeah, on the I don't know. I've never acted on on stage like in a live play. I'm not sure I have that much skill. But so acting it's nice because you can really focus on a moment, get it right, and then move on to the next moment. And it's all up to the director to really get what he wants, to get their vision, and that's what directing's all about, of course, right?
Yeah.
Getting it out of your actors, and so I'm always interested at the end of, like with the conflicts films, that at the end of a shoot, and seeing what the director does with it afterwards, and that can make such a difference in the quality of the end product.
For sure. I'm gonna kind of keep going back and forth, jumping back and forth between movies and music there.
Okay.
But what would you say was your best and your worst day on set?
Yeah, it might be the same day, and you were there
Okay.
on Tanner's film, and it was 40 below. Well, both days really, and it was brutal cold, and we were exposed in an open field, 40 below, 50-mile-an-hour winds or 50-kilometer-an-hour winds on the first day.
Yeah.
And it was brutal, but at the end of the day, we knew we did something good. And so I think that that was a really a huge learning experience for me, that shoot, and I don't think I learned the lessons until afterwards, when I saw the film, and I said, "Oh, that's what he was doing."
Yeah.
So it was a learning experience for me on working with the director as well.
Mm-hmm. One of the reasons why I'm doing this podcast is to kind of help me grow both as a filmmaker and stuff like that. And so, what would you, now this is gonna get into me, you can say whatever you want, I honestly don't care. What would you say about my film was the best and the worst? From your point of view.
Yeah, on your shoot, I'm trying to remember, because we had a couple different locations and stuff. Of course, the one that's more memorable is in the back on Hardesty Street, where along the railroad tracks there. Mm-hmm. So many people, and
yeah.
and I think in the end shooting and trying to like 1, 2, 3, trying to sort of pretend I'm taking these shots, and because we had to, when the shooting had to correspond with guys falling down.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of funny. I remember it, and I remember at one point thinking that, and that was, if we say the worst, I remember one point thinking that, oh my God, he's spending a lot of time on this, and we've got to keep moving, or he's not going to get what he wants done.
Yeah.
But you did, and yours was a perfect example of really, really good work after the fact, after the shooting, because the final, I've gotten so many compliments on that film.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, both for myself and for the film, because it moved quickly. It, there was an interesting story to begin with, so that helps, and so that the final product was exceeded my expectations.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. Yeah, I was when we were on set too. I know I actually did. You're always supposed to do 3 days, and I actually did 5 full days. I had to do 2 days after that.
That I wasn't even involved in. Yeah,
because I had to go back to the warehouse because we were losing that time. The time when we were at the warehouse, and it was around 7 o'clock at night, and everyone wanted to go to that film party. So I remember everyone was Galloway was on me for a time.
Right.
Yeah, and you guys were all running around, and I was like, all right, Jordan, run towards each guy, and we'll just do 5-minute takes of pretending to shoot. I know that was when I was stressing out and stuff like that. But yeah, I was happy with the end product as well.
Yeah, another, if I can mention, another really great moment on set, actually this year, was on Keegan Ringle's film that I got to do with my son. And he had the lead role as a young boy who was raising money for cancer. And part of that was to grow a mustache. Of course, he couldn't grow one, so he was 10 in the movie. And so he had a fake mustache he was wearing around, which was hilarious to see.
Yeah.
And I guess it was the last day on set, and we were shooting with Adam Galloway, who I've killed in about 2 or 3 movies now,
Yeah.
in yours included. And him and he was playing a newscaster who was interviewing my son, who was also my son in the movie. I played the dad, and those two were hamming it up. They're both being like goofs, and then my son had his line, and I had to stop myself from bursting out laughing when he turned towards the camera and said, "You don't need boobs to raise money for breast cancer."
Yeah, I got a big laugh in the theater.
He said, like it reminded me of that news anchor character, Ron.
I think his name was Rick Thorne, something like that.
That was Adam's part. He played it up really well. I was thinking of the character from the guy from Funny or Die.
Anchorman, Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy. It reminded me of a Ron Burgundy moment. It was pretty funny on set. Yeah. That was a fun day on set. Adam is a great guy to work with.
Yeah, he's a ball full of energy, that's for sure.
And my kid liked him too. So.
Yeah. How was it like acting with your son in the movie there?
It was great. It was he's so focused. He gets that from years in martial arts, but he was very focused. So he knew his lines really well. He was very confident, and he was acting. There was no doubt, that what you saw on screen wasn't how he acts normally, and or how he is normally, and. I didn't get to see all the shots being done, particularly with the shaving scene and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because it was, cramped quarters, and so seeing that on film was that was hilarious, and that was real. He's never seen me shave because it's not something he sits and watches me do.
Yeah.
So when he plastered his face with shaving cream right up past his nose, he said afterwards, he said, "Yeah, I kind of thought, but he just kept on going." And
yeah.
right? And so it was completely natural that he didn't know what he was doing. So that was
Yeah.
funny.
And that movie ended up winning first prize, which was awesome as well.
Prize. Second
Oh,
prize.
was it second prize? Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. John's film. But yeah, it's still top 3. That's great. Compared to the top 3 that was in my year, there was arguments about that. But the top 3 this year I thought were like great choices.
Yeah, and I can't remember off the top of my head what the top 3 were last year, but I certainly did like the video that Jason, that's his name, right?
Jason Hunter.
Yes, that he did with Caleb Hawkins. That music video was fantastic.
Yeah.
Secondly.
Yeah. I just had a question in my head and I just forgot it for a second there. So do you plan on? I noticed that you were in more than you were in 2 or 3 movies this year.
3, and one was a really small part, but it was an office worker part, and I thought, oh, that's safe, and I can, I didn't want to repeat. I don't want to keep playing bad guys and things like that, right? So this was, I'm playing a boss, and he was a bit of a dick, and so I got to, I like put the, shaved and just kept like a 70s style mustache and put a suit on, and I thought, oh, this is safe. And then I got there, and Luke said, oh, by the way, I don't think it was in the script, but you're going to get punched in the face. So we, we did that scene a dozen times to get it right. And so, yeah, it was just a very small part in that movie. And I got punched out. And then I did, and Steve Rohr, I sort of was, I guess, the lead good guy in that movie. And that was fun. That was another, not like yours, but similar in character type, in that I was playing a retired special agent or something that was brought back for a job. And, saved the girl, killed the bad guy. All in a good day's work.
Yeah, I know one of the jokes that you said on set, like you just said, was that I keep getting hired as the bad guy. I want to play the good guy. I want to be in a romantic comedy as the good guy.
Yeah. I haven't quite got that part. I did, So this year though, I was able to mix it up with, in the movie Manly, I was just playing a dad and nothing sinister, and that movie I was, so yeah, I did a little bit of each, and I mean, I'm a ham, I'm a goof. I can do comedy, and or I'd like to try.
Yeah.
But of course, it's it's not as easy as it sounds. So yeah, I just don't want to repeat myself too often.
Now I know on my side, I felt like one of my nerves on my set was that I wasn't giving enough direction, I felt, to the actors. And so what was it like, and I'm not sure how much direction you get on the other sets as well, but what's it like working with a director that doesn't necessarily give you the motivation, I guess, to your part?
I have to sometimes. Well, I'm learning as I go on, because before I wouldn't know what to do. I would just act. But now I'm starting to think about the characters a little bit more, and I will try to. If there's no backstory, or if I'm not getting direction, then basically I will just always prompt the director. How do you like that? Or is that, to make sure that, and let them know that, hey, you tell me what you want me to do if you want me to do something different. So I just communicate with the directors. I understand, their student. I did a couple of first year movies this year, and made some suggestions while I was on those with those guys. One of them was Natasha, so on your film, it was interesting because I was playing, law enforcement, and it wasn't quite clear that the character was evil. So I didn't, although I, roughed up the guy.
Yeah.
But but generally speaking, I didn't. I could also play it like, a good guy, who believed in what he was doing. Right? Who knows? Do we know? Maybe the clones were bad. In that movie. So, and so I didn't get that from you. I didn't. I didn't. You told me basically what you were looking for, but you never said he was a good guy or a bad guy. So.
Yeah, I thought I personally think that of all most of the actors that I've seen in Thunder Bay, so far, I believe that you're one of the better ones. Of course, that's for sure, and that's why, of course, I called you up for my movie. I thought you did a great job.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
There are lots of talented actors around, and as I get, it's nice. This year I got to work with Mike Kolke. I worked a lot with him on a hip hop music video first, actually, and then we did Steve Rohr's movie together this year, and he's really good. So he was in the film that won first place this year. Actually.
Yeah, The Henchman, right?
Is that what it was with all the little vignettes?
Yeah. He played the. I think I know. He played the henchman that showed up in each vignette.
That's right. Yeah. He did a great job, and that was a good film.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one as well. So where do you kind of see yourself going in the art direction, like, and kind of go back to music too? Whether you feel like you're gonna exceed more in music or film, of course. But where do you kind of see yourself going when it comes to these shorts as well as your music career?
Well, with the film, I'm not moving to Hollywood, so I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and I meet interesting people, and they do get played, and people do see them. If that creates an opportunity, as opportunities come up in the city for other types of films, feature films or anything, then I'll be looking to participate in those. I'm not, like I said, I'm not moving. I'm here. I'm raising my son. If opportunities come from it, then that's bonus. With music, it's been the same thing. I mean, the best time to have gone out on the road and basically made that sort of that attempt would have been in my late teens, early 20s. That's just the best time to do it. That's when you're most creative in a lot of ways too.
Yeah.
So now I write I write songs for my not just for my own enjoyment, but I write them to play them. I haven't done a lot in the last couple of years, and like I said, I'm playing this at the end of the month. We'll see how that goes with if we're having fun doing it, we'll do it again. We'll do it again really soon. And out of that, it's a band. Well, my music partner Les Henderson and I have we've been in bands since the late '80s, but we have one called Ushmal Project, and really it's named aptly because there's been a variety of members, with he and I being the primary songwriters, and we both sing. So a lot of times we'll start off doing these things, just the two of us, and as we get back into our comfort zone, we'll bring in other musicians, and then have a full band sound. Whether or not this turns into a recording project or just playing some more live gigs, just the two of us. We'll see.
That sounds awesome. So I don't have any other questions for you.
I do have an album on iTunes.
You do have an album? Yeah, I was actually just about to say that. Is there anything that you wanted to essentially plug, like an album, or you got a Twitter or something like that?
Well, I have. We have an album on iTunes, languishing somewhere in the depths there. The Ushmal Project. Ushmal's spelled Uxmal. It's a Mayan word, so yeah, it's there on iTunes. You can find me under my full name John David Cornell, on Reverb Nation as well as SoundCloud. I've got some music up there. Some of it's some of it you can download free. And on Twitter, I'll just have to make sure I give you that right. I am on Twitter, and I believe it's Ushmal JDC. I'll just confirm that for you in a second here, because I never look. I never send myself messages, right? And the Skype's slowing down my computer, of course.
Well, I'll definitely put the links to that stuff in the description down below.
Right. Yeah, and I think. Are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter as well. I think I follow you.
We're actually connected on Twitter as well. So, and when do you do this, or when do you do this, air this podcast?
I will probably be putting this up. Today is May 11th, so I'll probably be putting this up in around a week and a half from now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be getting the second episode up within the next day or two, and then I'm gonna be having this one up probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks from now.
It is.
Don't worry, I can edit this. I'll cut down the dead air.
I know. I'm not live. Yeah, it is at capital UXMAL capital JDC, Ushmal JDC.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, and I have fun on Twitter. It's a great way to connect to the larger world, right? So
yeah, I really enjoyed Twitter too. A lot of people seem to be moving towards Twitter more than Facebook, at least from what I see nowadays.
Well, it's a different type of conversations, and the world is happening in real time all around you on Twitter. Facebook, it's still a lot of cute cat pictures.
yeah, that's true. All right, well, thank you very much for talking to me, John. I thought we had a great conversation there.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and take care. We'll be in touch, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. All right, have a good one.
Yeah, we'll talk later.